Home buyers right now are regretting their purchase, and it's happening all over San Diego. A supplemental tax bill that drops out of nowhere, an insurance premium that doubled overnight, a massive HOA special assessment, or a property that's worth less than you paid for it. These are the things making San Diego homeowners regret their purchase. And if you want to understand and avoid this scenario, you're going to want to watch this video. As always, my friends, I'm Dustin J. Backrad, a San Diego real estate strategist. Whether you're relocating your family, looking for a perfect San Diego second home, or just moving to the next chapter of life, I've helped hundreds of families navigate these exact transitions. If you're planning a move to San Diego and want help building a smart game plan, my contact info is below. Also, if you have a question, just put it in the comments. I read every single one and will reply. In this video, I'm walking you through the real reasons why so many people regret their home purchases here in San Diego. And more importantly, what you can do to make sure it doesn't happen to you. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the number one thing that catches buyers completely off guard: the hidden property taxes. Here in California, we have something called Prop 13, which is fantastic for long-term homeowners because it essentially caps how much your property tax bill can rise each year. But when you buy a house, it triggers a reassessment based on your new purchase price. And what most buyers don't realize is that it takes the county months to catch up to this new reassessed tax rate. So many months after you close, you will get the dreaded supplemental tax bill in the mail. It's a retroactive bill for the difference between the old owner's taxes and your new taxes. I've seen buyers hit with a $5,000 or even $30,000 surprise tax bill in the mail. And if you're buying in a new master plan community, please look out for the Mello-Roos. These are special tax districts that can add hundreds of dollars a month to your tax bill. One piece of advice: do not skip the tax disclosures and plan for your supplemental tax bill. Next up is your insurance and maintenance. Most people fall in love with the geography, the coastlines and the canyons, but these environments also add to your costs. If you buy a home perched on one of the beautiful canyons, you're likely in a high fire risk zone. Many standard insurance carriers are pulling out of these areas, forcing buyers into one of California's FAIR Plan, which is the state's insurer's last resort. Your premium could easily be 2 to 3 times higher than a standard policy. And I've seen whole condo complexes that couldn't get a master fire policy, and as a result, no new financing could happen, making it a huge hurdle to sell, which made for very unhappy owners. And if you buy on the coast, you're dealing with the marine layer. Salt air causes rust, wood rot, and exterior wear and tear at an accelerated rate. Maintaining a coastal property needs extra attention. Then there are the HOAs. A lot of out-of-state buyers or local first-time buyers look at condos to get a foothold in the San Diego market. But you do have to be very careful. Many of these condo buildings were built in the 70s or 80s, and if the HOA has been kicking the can down the road on deferred maintenance, like roof replacements or balcony repairs, they will issue what's called a special assessment. This isn't a slight bump in your monthly dues. This is a sudden bill for $10,000 to $20,000 or even more. I've seen older condo buildings in Pacific Beach and Mission Valley hit owners with massive assessment bills because reserves simply weren't funded properly. The HOA Reserve Study is the guide that will help you understand the financials, and it's important you know if it's underfunded and if any special assessments are coming. You need to know this before you remove your contingencies. And one item specifically affecting all the condo communities in San Diego is the balcony SB 326 law. Every 9 years, an inspection needs to be conducted to judge the balcony integrity. If it fails, it can have major consequences, and ultimately, it makes lenders unable to lend on it and affects property values. But beyond the money, here's the cost nobody talks about: the time. Owning a home costs your weekends. When we moved from Phoenix to out here in San Diego, the difference in what house demands was a real learning curve. A leaking irrigation line, dealing with our infamous Southern California termites, or just keeping up with your yard. These things don't fix themselves. When my two boys are begging to go to the beach or out for a bike ride, the last thing I want to be doing is stuck in the house doing repairs. You want to own your home. You don't want the home to own you. So let's run some real numbers on what a home purchase really looks like. We're going to use a $1 million home for this example, not just for the ease of math, but because it's right around our median San Diego purchase price right now. Let's assume you're putting 20% down, which leaves you with an $800,000 loan. And let's just use a 6.5% interest rate, which is right around where we've been hovering for the last few years. On paper, your principal and interest payments on that loan comes to around $5,050 a month. But here's where the San Diego reality checks in. Now, add in your property taxes, which usually buyers in San Diego land somewhere around 1.25% of the purchase price annually. This will run you about $1,000 a month. And if you bought in a newer community with Mello-Roos tax, you need to tack on an additional $300 to $400 a month. And if that beautiful house is on a canyon, you're forced into a California FAIR plan, that can easily add another $400 a month, or more if you're not careful. Suddenly, that $5,050 mortgage you thought you were paying is actually a check for almost $6,800 every month. Being house poor is a very real thing in San Diego. It's buying a home and losing the freedom to eat out, take a weekend trip, or just take away your peace of mind. But just because your mortgage got approved doesn't mean you can actually afford it. Those are two very different things. A lot of people get into trouble because they buy with their heart instead of their head. They fall in love with a beautifully staged home and panic because they think the market is running away from them. Ironically, some of the most expensive mistakes I see aren't from buyers stretching too far financially. They're from buyers that do not take their time to understand the true cost of ownership. Luckily, a lot of the extreme fear of missing out market is mostly gone. We're seeing price reductions, seller credits, and longer days on the market return to many parts of San Diego, which means buyers actually have room to negotiate again. The good news is every single one of these regrets is avoidable. The buyers in San Diego who win aren't lucky. They just have someone in their corner who tells them the truth before they sign anything. If you're thinking about buying in San Diego, the goal isn't just to get approved. It's making sure the home actually fits your lifestyle and long-term budget. If you want help building a smart plan or would like some help navigating San Diego's tricky real estate waters, reach out to me and I will get back to you. Until next time, friends, stay safe, stay sharp,